start recording, we'll also have a small reminders in the group. Okay, good. Mm, all right, turn on the agenda and then we are also having the merit papers discussion from starting from today. Okay, so today we are discussing that the balance merit paper MCQ question paper kata discuss karamo after soon after your class. Good. So let's get started. All right, okay. So everyone and assalamu alaikum and welcome all of you people. I hope you guys are doing great. Okay, and a new month, okay, of going through with a chapter on networking and communication. So today's topic is going to be on OSI reference model. So this is also a combined session for the physical class student from Eduzone because we did a merit paper for them. So wanted to okay for them we are doing a combined together we are doing this session. So hopefully today's class we have to go through with all OSI model stages one by one. Okay, in here you will be talking about each stage. Okay, what are the changes happens for your data one after the other. So let's get started. We are into page number, yes, we are into page number 54. Okay, so we did this part. Okay, and we did this. Good. So let's get through one by one stage. Okay, we'll go in detail what happens in these stages. What are the protocols we do normally see in these stages? Killa will go in detail. Okay, so let's get started. Page number 55. Okay, so page number 55. Okay, let's get started in here. Moving on, okay, so what is the OSI model? Or else let's have a quick recap of what we have studied and what are we going to study in today's class. A recap time. Hope everyone have joined with us. Still many people have to join, okay. Right. So in the world of internet, okay, internet take a blueprint take a gatot. Okay, we have a blueprint called as TCP IP model. The blueprint of the internet is basically blueprint of the internet is TCP/IP model. This TCP/IP model is a layered approach. Okay, this is the version 1, and then we have the OSI reference model, which is the version 2. Okay, this is a layered approach. So in this model, each is a layered approach. So each data is goes through an layer. So a layers we are going to learn it. In TCP/IP model, we do have 4 layers. And in OSI reference model, we have 7 layers. A message will go through all these 7 layers. Think about like security check. Okay, before you transfer the message, it goes through on all these security check. 7 layers in there. So the message will go from first layer to all the way to the 7th layer. So we call it as encapsulation. So we are going to learn the process of encapsulation. So let's take the first one called as the application layer. We also call it as layer number 7. In application layer, what happens actually, okay, in this layer only, all your data and information will be grabbed. It's like I'm giving a letter to y'all. I can asking you to write a letter. The content is what application layer deal with. So you use WhatsApp, your message. You use Zoom, the video. You're using Viber, the audio. Okay, you use Facebook, okay, the reaction comments and everything. Okay, you use TikToks, the videos. You use Instagram, the reels. Annevage application layer is designed to grab users data and information, or else to provide services to users. Okay, in this layer, mostly, okay, the design has been designed in such a way where it will be able to give services to the users and get their data. Provides set of interface sending and receiving application to gain access or use the network services. This layer deals with networking application, serves as a window between the application and the user. So a couple of functions, file transfer, mail services, and so and so. So let's see what are the protocols. SMTP protocol works in here. Okay, HTTP protocol works in here. FTP protocol works in here. DNS protocol works in here. Okay, remote access SSH telnet also works in this protocol. Okay, we have the other one is real-time streaming, RTSP. Streaming protocols works here. So basically, majority of the what services where the user use for file transfer, data transfer, websites and everything may protocol like that. Who can handle this protocol? A mobile can handle this protocol. A server can handle this protocol. A PC can handle this protocol. In this protocol, what do you take out? The output is known as the PDU. Okay, the output. May protocol use करला. What do you take? The original data. These protocol transfer the original data. In OSI reference model, okay, it is the application layer, but in TCP/IP model, it is also the application layer. Sounds okay? මේක තමයි application layer කියලා කියන්නේ. Perfect. So the message then will flow into the next layer. So after moving on to the next layer, once you grab all the application layer, may data taken, now we have to do the formatting. In presentation layer, it formats. Here in this layer, whatever the data that you have taken, it write it in a specific format. Make it, presentation layer. Now, for an example, I'm using a kind of a to-do sheet type of use karna. So I have these data written, but they have given a specific format to us write the data. Because my format so you grab the data. So in this sheet, I used to write my daily activities, what are the classes, whatever I do it in here. Also, they have given a format for me to write date, time, year, messages, to-do list, and everything. So we call it as the presentation, the way we present the data. It is responsible for encryption and decryption. Okay, in this layer you do translation, ASCII, BCD and everything, encryption, decryption, support in terms of compression. So here you will be using PDF वगे देवल, document वगे देवल, ඊට පස්සේ MP3 वगे formatting you will use. We use a PDF to format your documents. We can also use MP3 for audio. Okay, we use JPG for images. Okay, devices, mobile, server, PC. What about the data? Your original data will be now converted into an formatted data. In OSI reference model, it is the application layer. In TCP/IP model, sorry, in OSI model, it's the presentation layer. But in TCP/IP model, it is the application layer. Because we map no, 4 layers are mapped to 7. So application layer in TCP only, still it is presentation layer in here. Then what the next layer is, okay, make him pass. I'll give you time to write it. It a pass a session. So now you have get the data, you have written in the format, but then there is a session. See, every slot I have given time. I have written time. I have a session from 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 8:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30 kila mama session lila. What do you mean by session? Timing. Okay, times. Each and every data which we are sending has a specific time. So you get a session layer. Link එකක් හදනවා. Here only synchronization, establishing of session, terminating of session. Right now I'm enabled a session. Zoom I have created a meeting. So those sessions are done by okay, different protocol. For an example, SSL session. These are used in websites. Then they are in Apple. We use it as Apple Talk Time Session Protocol. Apple Talk Time Session Protocol Kela. Then we do have X.25. This is in network. These are different okay devices. Okay. Devices got that you can use a mobile to deal with the session layer, a PC or a server. A gateway also can be designed to deal with sessions ki link එක හදන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, gateway is a device which is the entry and an exit point of a network. Can be a router, can be a switch, can be a server. It can be anything where the entry and the exit point. What happens to your data? The formatted data will be yet again formatted. In OSI model, it is the session layer. In the TCP/IP model, it is still the application layer. So did you see here? Application layer, okay, all these three happened, but it was complicated. In OSI, they divided it further. Once you have given the timing and everything in there, okay, I might have marked some important things. Okay, මම highlight කරලා තියෙයි සමහර දේවල් important things I might have highlighted. See, in this, okay, certain slots letter I might have highlighted in red color. I highlighted it. So telling that these are really important for me. So Eva gamer, a message might be important, reliable, or unreliable. It will be a important message or not an important message. So you sort the messages in transport layer. In transport layer, it gives you a okay, reliable service between the sender and the receiver. So it makes sure this data, is it reliable or unreliable? Okay, should I use the express service or should I use the normal service? Okay, here only it makes the flow control. Flow control it makes the link, okay, and how it reach the destination. Okay, here only it divides into segments. So what do you mean by segmenting? Your messages will be divided into segments. So in here you use two protocol, TCP UDP, transmission control protocol, user datagram protocol, UDP and TCP. Okay, devices you can use your normal PC, a server, a mobile. Also, a firewall is also capable of handling transporting reliable the unreliable. Here the data, formatted data will be now converted into segments. What do you mean by segment? If that data packet ticket, if I do a formatted data. If I give timing, okay, formatted data. But if I give that service TCP or UDP, reliable or unreliable, express or normal, if I put the stamp, if like for an example in a normal post api stamp එකක් ගහන්නේ to say that it is an important message. A stamp එකක් ගහුවොත් ඒකට කියනවා segments කියලා. In TCP/IP, sorry, in OSI model, it's transport layer. In TCP/IP, also transport layer. Flow control link. So these are the 4 layers and what happens in detail. Okay, so in general, I'll make it very simple. We are learning the blueprint of the internet. The blueprint of the internet is known as the TCP/IP model, which has 4 layers. The data goes through 4 layers. Version 1. You have the version 2 of the blueprint, which is OSI model, which has 7 layers. 4 layers clicking, the data goes through each layer before it sends. The data goes through each layer before it goes to the receiver. Receiver also does the same thing. So what are those layers? So we are learning on the OSI model. The first layer is the application layer. Here it attracts all the data. So you give the service and you get all the data. For an example, if I'm using WhatsApp, I take internet relay chat using the IRC protocol. I will grab the user's message. If I'm sending a video, I will be using RTSP. If I'm sending a website, HTTP. If I'm sending a file, FTP. If I'm doing remote connection, SSH. Unable protocol, you grab all the user's data. Then you format it, presentation layer. For this data, you give a timing. What at what time, okay, the data was created, at what time it was configured, all the information about the packet, which was creation time and everything given in session. Then you decide whether is it an important message or not. Through transport layer. Transport layer, you will give a label telling that may message anivaring must. It has to be delivered. So you give that service, express service or normal service. TCP keyword, it's reliable. UDP keyword, it is unreliable. So you have two protocols to select the service, a reliable service or unreliable service. Shall we mark it down all of those in detail? Okay, so let us see how the TCP and UDP differs from one to another. Okay, so make a fully theory section which I'll be able to complete it much more soon. So next thing is going to be the differences between these two protocols. Okay, so in detail take explain karanna. Okay, everything has comes into this laws, protocol, data unit, port, and everything. Okay, so now what happens is all the data, now for an example, internet Okkoma data ticker will be converted into a frame. Okay, so block wise so in the internet, all the data and informations are sent as like this block. Okay, in transport layer, this block will be sorted into two. Is it a reliable information or is it an unreliable information? Do you want the express service or do you want the normal service? You have to select between these two. Which one should I go with? That's what we go with TCP and UDP. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, whereas UDP stands for User Datagram Protocol. In TCP, okay, in TCP, message will be sent through a reliable communication service, but in UDP, the message will be sent through an unreliable communication service. So let's see one by one. TCP on one side, transmission control is a reliable service. What do you mean by reliable? Guarantees, guarantee the delivery of data. That is TCP. But if you select UDP, which is simple, is an unreliable service. Okay, unreliable service does not guarantee the delivery of data. So you can sure the TCP is connection oriented. It makes sure the sender and the receiver receives the message and provide acknowledgement, e.g. immediate acknowledgement. But whereas UDP is connection oriented, connectionless, and do not provide acknowledgement. Now, what is connection oriented and connectionless? It is like synchronized. The sender and the receiver are synchronized. Okay. Send and the receiver, they are able to send and receive without any issues. Acknowledgement के लिए क्या है? Report, delivery report. This is not synchronized. Synchronized. स्पेलिंग के लिए हूँ synchronized, not synchronized, and do not provide it. Okay, this is complex because it provides synchronize, it is giving delivery report, guaranteed delivery. This is simple. In terms of speed, this is slow. When you compare to TCP, this is faster. But this is secured and this is not secured. And a speciality of TCP is if there is any error, okay, TCP provides error detection, and also he does error correction too. But data packet UDP doesn't. UDP do not provide error detection or correction. Where do we use it so mostly? Here in services such as where you do have monadic and services which has to have a system which should be connected, such as application where you need to have a long connection. Application application used TCP is used in application where it has to be connected for a long time. TCP is used in application, it has to be connected for a long time. You can issues our reconnecting vela hari. It has to have a long time in there. But these are time sensitive application. UDP is used in application where time used. See, UDP is used in application used in time sensitive application. UDP is used in time sensitive application where data has to be delivered faster regardless of the errors. So make a faster communication use especially in where in UDP. So the example now if you use email is here website http TCP. Okay, here streaming. Or if I take a voice call, voice. Acknowledgements on a daily report, a complete report of your communication, at what time it was delivered, at what times it was received, a complete report. What is it? Acknowledgement. Synchronize is one example. Okay, so sync katino. You and your friend are synchronized, and the bond set where you He can understand what you talk and you can understand what he talks. You both have a communication where it's like seamless. In a communication network, okay, synchronized kilonot. What do you mean by synchronized one? If the sender is sending a message in 5 kilobits per second, the receiver also will receive the same data. Both of them, the sender and the receiver, have the same frequency, same bandwidth, same amount of protocols, everything is synchronized. Okay, the communication is in such a smooth manner, a stable communication. Communication. But unsynchronized kilobit, he will send it in 5 kilobits per second. He will receive in 3 kilobits per second. එතකොට Hamda, what happens is, okay, the message might get dropped. Unstable communication එකක්. Understood? Okay, good. Happy? Done, understood. Okay, good. So under the protocols, we do have TCP is ideal even it has associated overhead. What is overhead? Excess. Excess information, excessive information it carries it because what it is complex, but it is well secured. When most of the overhead is a connection, it allows you to have a lengthy connection. Most of the time, email and websites. UDP is ideal to be used in multimedia like voice, voice over internet protocol. So මේ වගේ protocols them use කරන්න. So protocol එකට අනුව it has differences. Okay. Now for an example, they have their own selection. For example, let's see list of protocols කියලා ගමු. List of protocol. Okay, when the list of protocols you see around 65,000 odd protocols are there. Each protocol they have separated. Okay, they have separated based on okay the UDP and TCP reliable the unreliable the kira. Example like this, starting from protocol number one, okay, they have numbered it. Okay, each and every protocol they have numbered and they call it as the port entry point. Okay, so every protocol is like a service that you can select. So they have reserved and unreserved. See, Discord protocol, wake up on LAN protocol. It's a interesting one where automatically ඔයගොල්ලන් computer එක on වුණාම internet එකත් connect වෙනවා. Wake up on LAN. Port number 9. Daytime protocol. I have no idea what is this. Intended testing and measurement purpose of computer. So testing quote of the day used in mainframe. SSH. Okay, this is for remote login. Okay, time protocol. Hostname protocol. බලන්න මේ වගේ අනව protocol හෙන්න තෝගයක් යයි. 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. It goes up to 65,000 again, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. All these are different types of services that you can get it from the internet. Example, sir, එකක් ගන්නකො. Example, okay, we'll take Solaris කියලා protocol එකකුත් තියෙනවා. A kind of an operating system protocol එකක්. There is a protocol for Spotify. So Spotify uses 470. Have you ever heard about this story where Dialogue, okay, they do give data free for Netflix? Okay, මේ වගේ එකක් තියෙනවා. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මොනවද doubt ඇතිවෙන. So කොහොමද the dialogue gives you internet only for Netflix? ඒ කියන්නේ how dialogue is able to give for social media. Dialogue ලගේ social media social media packages. So Fun Blaster කියලා social media package. See, they are giving for TikTok only. So how is it possible? Because TikTok uses a separate protocol. I have no idea what is the protocol. We'll see. TikTok uses TikTok protocol. TikTok uses the protocol HTTPS use karala. It uses HTTPS TSL protocol quick UDP connection use karna. Real-time messaging protocol authentication, content sharing API, what open source protocol for AT protocol. What is AT protocol? Yeah, it uses a protocol called AT. So we'll see AT protocol. AT. You. The AT protocol. Chat. Chat. It uses insecure HTTPS content delivery. Okay, social media protocol. Social media use करना protocol है क्या most of the time it uses like real internet relay chat use करना वा. Okay, distributed social media protocol. So social media uses मैंने make DSNP protocol. DSNP. Social media. Okay, me set again on. So they are using that social media का use करना protocol है कि एक enable कर लाता मैं you are using TikTok. Okay, they have separated. So all internet services are basically separated through what? Ports. So we are getting into the next topic called as port numbers. Port numbers के लिए क्या है? Separation of services. What are ports? Separation of internet services. What is it? Port skill. Okay, so they have divided into different set of protocols. So we will be learning one by one what are those protocols too. Now FTP is used to transfer files. So if you're using file transfer like in Telegram, it uses FTP protocol. FTP uses protocol number 20 and it uses TCP. SSH is a protocol which used for remote login to access someone's computer, remote access. Okay, and SSH uses port number 22, which is TCP. Telnet, again, it is remote access but unsecured. Okay, Telnet uses port number 23 or something. I'll update with this. ඊට පස්සේ DNS use කරනවා both UDP TCP දෙකම use කරනවා for domain name. So that is a domain name to IP දෙන්න. Okay, for domain name to IP, port number 53. HTTP, it uses TCP port number 80 websites. SMTP mail, okay, which uses the famous 25 TCP. RTSP, this is for streaming like Netflix. 554, it uses TCP UDP both. This is internet relay chat service like WhatsApp. Okay, WhatsApp. Maybe you put double on protocol like a in the IRC protocol uses you don't need to memorize them. Internet relay chat port taker. Internet relay chat uses 194 TCP. 194 TCP. Telnet, it should be 23, 22 now, and it take another 23. So now here this is reliable. AK Monkut errors when the reliable. If it's TCP, remember it is reliable. Okay, see, this is reliable. This is reliable. This is reliable. UDP ke reliable, unreliable. AK, memorize these three and keep it. I'll just memorize these three protocol numbers and keep it. Specific numbers on among a list of 65,000 protocol services willing, they have these are the well-known port numbers, famous ones. You have 65,000 different port numbers are there. List of port numbers ke liye wo tomma hinna to gattino. List of port numbers, if I take it's too big. Okay, it's a huge PDF. We can basically, I can give you all here. One group ke then onan dan nang ekak balanda just for reference wage onan balaganda puluwan. List of port numbers dammot henna togyak you don't need to memorize all, but you go all the way up to 60,000 so one group ke damma. Okay, see, all port numbers are there. Make a social media use karanne. Chat IRC 194. See, internet relay chat. See, it goes like this. Some are open, some are free, some have been used for different. They have registered it for different services. They have registered. අපි එකක් බලමු. Now this is Ventrolio කියලා මොනවද සර්විස් එකක් ඒගොල්ලන් use කරනවා Club Penguin Bizarre Games අපි බලමුකෝ example will take Microsoft Ant game. It's a type of a game used protocol 4001. Now what is Microsoft Ant game? In the game they are using this protocol. अरे शौक नहीं. There's an Ant game. Okay. Yeah. अरे now nice. This is an ant game. Okay, Microsoft Ants. A game developed by Microsoft or something. In the game, a protocol alive போட்டிக்கிறாங்க and they are using the protocol 4001. Isn't in the game online connection and communication and everything it's like this. I shocked me. See, all these are there. It was some are there, they have kept it like may range open free. See, 6,000 to 60,000 to 61,000 का most खेलेगा unofficial. Red Hat के लिए क्या नहीं, it's a type of a server. This is reserved. Some are free tier, some are they have used for different purpose. BitTorrent uses 30310. This one, Pirate Bay and everything. Killing Floor. I have no idea what this is. Nintendo Wi-Fi uses it. Okay. Did you Killing Floor? It's a game. My game era they have used it. Almost understood why they have used different port numbers. They have like registered it. All the services, internet within hammer service they have basically registered. AK, the most important one, we call it as well-known port numbers. Okay, good. 57. Guys, we do have the paper session also today. Okay, after your class පොඩ්ඩක් විනාඩි 10න් පස්සේ we'll start with the merit paper. So මම last එක කරේ merit paper 2. So I'll continue with that merit paper 2 එකම කරගෙන යන්නම්. Then I'll upload merit paper 3 and so every Wednesday ම තියාගමු night session එකක් විදියට. Thursday இல்ல Wednesday போடும். Yeah, I upload the videos in YouTube and upload it in the group. මං group එකේ දාන්නම්. Until the seniors like badge කියනකම් පොඩ්ඩක් time එකට මෙට වෙයි. ඊට පස්සේ I'll be free. Be able to give you all more time and do it. Okay. Right. So let's get into the next section. Hi. So the next part is going to be the once that protocol ports has been done. Get this as homework for y'all. Okay, a quick section is on homework. Okay, sure, okay. Then we'll get into the data link layer and network layer. Good. So now, okay, the packet has a label, whether is it an important message or not important, or else we can say, is it a reliable communication or unreliable communication? The kila danda, we have two. Okay, so we have a protocol has been there. ඊට පස්සේ මෙන්න මේ letter එකට you will be given an address. So is it මේකට you will give the address. So address will be given by the network layer. Network layer එකේ තමයි you will come across IP. ඊට පස්සේ some routing protocols will be used here. Routing protocols. Okay, routing protocols like OSPF, RIP. What are routing? Okay, routers use karna protocol. Routing protocol. So which device deals with IP address? A router deals with IP address, a PC and a server. Okay, so when a data is given with an IP, it becomes a packet. In OSI model, it's network layer. In TCP IP model, all internet layer. Okay, a packet looks like this. It's basically full of information. This is how a packet. Okay, මේක packet එකක්. මේකේ මේ තියෙන data. This is the data. But it has a lot of other information. The source address, source port, destination port. What is that port? Port 80, receiver also port 80. Okay, sender's IP, receiver's IP. All the details are there. So it's like an extra note for you all. Okay, a small extra note section. Good. Say now this packet taker not secured. So providing security, error detection mechanism. Nattang security in this layer. In this layer, there are major two layers, MAC, MAC and LLC. Here you deal with switches, a PC, a router also works here. Route and everything comes. Mobile. Okay, we have MAC, LLC are the two types of protocol. used in this layer. Okay, තව එකකුත් තියෙනවා, we have frame relay FDDI කියලා එකකුත් තියෙනවා. Okay, frame relay fiber distributed කියලා එනවා. These are all okay another different type of protocols. Okay, what happens if a security නැත්නම් error detection mechanism label එකක් ගැහුවොත් it becomes a frame. In OSI model, it's data link. Okay, in TCP/13 internet network layer. MAC is a type of a protocol which gives you the addressing, physical address used to identify, used in identification of end device. That's MAC. Physical addressing, control CSMACD, a type of a technology. Okay, establishing connection and transmission packet using interface card. LLC is basically for error detection, nattang security. Security, nattang error detection. So these are two protocol kilikine like rules tamai. Okay, you keep on adding rules. Managing data link interface, CRC, a kind of an error detection technology ekak. Okay, humming codes and redundancy check, responsible for packet transferring, data transferring, provide flow control, synchronization, and error checking. So LLC is mainly designed for security. MAC is designed to identify the device. මේක තමයි data link layer එකකින් වෙන්නේ. In network layer, you give the address. In data link layer, you give security and error detection. Meaning of frame. So when an MAC and LLC information are added, it is a frame. When IP address are added, it becomes a packet. All right, okay, good. So the next point, let's get into the next one. That's going to be the physical layer. Now, this is an example of a frame. So it's like basically a set of protocol which has a lot of information. That's what a frame, like a driving license. You have the ID, phone number, telephone number. Okay. Here you have the source and destination address. This is the MAC address will be given. Now here this is the LLC part. Here this is the data. Here only the IP address and all the packet informations are there. Okay, here a couple of other information regarding the data packet. So in physical layer, your message will be now converted into series of one and zeros. Here you will be going with cables. Okay, we do go with Ethernet. Okay, in here protocols lot ಏನೋ mostly you will be going with bits ತಮೆ ಗುಡಾದ್ರೊಟ್ಟೆ ಎನ್ನೆ protocols in terms, hold on, Ethernet protocol, Wi-Fi. Okay, and then we do have, okay, devices ಏನೋ mostly cables, hubs, modem, repeaters ತಮಗೆ ಗುಡಾದ್ರೊಟ್ಟೆ in of course you will be getting Ethernet, Wi-Fi, DSL killer technology, ADSL technology. These are all internet technologies. Good. PDU, what happens for the data? Finally, it converts into bits, one and zeros. In OSI model, we call it as physical layer. In TCP/IP model, we call it as network layer. So මේවල මොනවාස එන්නේ MCQs the protocols, cables, and one other type of sessions. So when you do some MCQ question, ඔයගලන්ට එක touch එකේ එහෙම right අපේ ඉතින් possibility you will be able to understand. Good. So the layers goes through one by one in completing. Okay. From application to presentation, presentation to session, session to transport, transport to network, network to data link to physical. So in that way, data go one by one in detail. Either passe, what is the next part we do have? Okay. So from here, the data will be sent to the receiver. Make it my overall venue. So from that pass, the data will be sent to the receiver and the receiver will get it again back. So we are going on to the summary of OSI model. So let's get into the summary. In summary, you will be learning each and every layer, okay, does something for your data before it's been sent. That's the reason we don't see any data packet missing, because the protocols are well established. You will never get someone else message perfectly හැමෝටම වෙනවා directly detail එනවා. Application layer process network application original data ගන්නවා making original data, then you format it, formatted data. In session you create inter-host communication link එකක්, formatted data. Transport layer, you have end-to-end connection, that's ports. We call it as segments. In address IP දෙනවා, which is packets. Access to media, mechanism, security, we call it as frames. And bit transmission. Now, next one is going to be OSI propagation. What do you mean by OSI propagation is something like this. When you wanted to send a message from the sender to the receiver, let's assume from this computer, it goes to a router. From the router, it goes to a switch. From the switch, it goes to a PC. From a PC to a router to a switch to a PC. Now, the data, let's say in the message is trying to be transferred, the data will go through all the layers. A PC will go through all set of layers. Application layer, then the data will be transferred into presentation layer, then session layer, then we have transport layer, then we do have network layer, it was a data link layer, and then we do have physical layer. The message will transfer. It will be sent to the router. The router will get the data through the physical layer. We'll see any errors has been handled then at the data link layer. We'll see who is the receiver through the network layer. Then he will transfer the message to the switch. Methane, you will see the IP and he will transfer it. Switch will get the data through the physical layer. Open it and see whether any security breach has happened, because switch can deal up to data link layer, router can deal up to network layer, firewall can go up to transport layer. Okay, a gateway can go up to session layer. ඊට පස්සේ the receiver will get the message and the receiver will get the message and go from bottom to top. He will get the message in physical layer, then he will check for errors, then he will see his IP, then the port, then he terminate the session, he check the formatting and get the original data. What is it? He get the data through physical layer, he check for errors, he check for the IP, he collect the port, close the connection through session layer, then check for the formatting, okay, read the formatting and get the data. Read the format and get the data. If you send a message, how it will go through from one computer to another computer. So මේක ඇත්තටම මෙහෙම වෙනවද නැත්නම් ඒක කොහේදස අපිට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් නම් I'll do a practical and show it to you all also. Right? I'm going to use a stimulation software called as Cisco Packet Tracer, where you can perform internet-based stimulation. We call it as Cisco Packet Tracer. Make a group get them download karanda, but I will again upload it if it's necessary. So let's Login first of all. Okay, you can create an account and log in the Puluang. I'll take two computers. Check this out. And I'll connect these two computers. Then I'll give IP address for this. 192.168.1.1. 192.168.1.1. And the receiver again 192.168.1.1. Okay, and 192, I can't use the same IP, 1.2 use karan. So I have given in there. Let's assume I'm going to send a data from this computer to this computer. From this PC to this PC, I'm trying to send the data. So the data receives. When the data again. When the data packet karam baluot, if I take that data packet, this is the data packet. See, I have all the information, source, destination, packet, PDU format, protocol data unit. Okay, PDU format, I have it. And then OSI model. I'm just sending what? I'm sending a request, ping request. I'm not sending an application. It goes only these two layers. See, IP address. If I'm sending a ping request, only these three layers. And the outbound receive again. Other layers it won't go. Why? Because I'm not sending any data. No. If I'm sending the data, it will go up to all 7 layers. Since I'm just sending a request, ICMP request, it goes up to what layer? Network layer. So ICMP again the ping command. Okay, it goes up to network layer. Another. Okay, so we get layer by layer. So basically it is divided. Now if I send a ping request, now if I send a message, it's basically a ping request. It goes up to 3 layers. But if I send an HTTP request, nata web request, it goes up to 7 layers. All 7 layers. Make my overall story. People who understood this part. So what I make a answer. Okay. So when you send a message from the sender to the receiver, the message will go through a lot of layers. A layers practical pen. So can I get an example of 7 layers? පුළුවන් ඔයගොල්ලන් මෙතන මම සර්වර් එකක් දාලා මේකම ඔයගොල්ලන් සර්වර් එකට කනෙක්ට් කරොත් I might be able to show you all the 7 layers. බලමු ඈ. Okay. 192.168.1.10. Okay, let's try to access a website. I'll try to access the website. If I'm accessing the website, 168.1.10. Can I access the website? Services HTTP. I have turned it on. No. I'll try to access it. 192.168.1.10. I'm trying to access the website. Valamu 1.10. Valamu, whether I'm able to get it. Get the message. 1.10 web browser again. Goes in real life. No. Our website. I got the website. So මම පොඩ්ඩක් වෙලන් ගියාම තමයි ආවේ real time එකේ. Now I have got the website. I have captured the data packet also. අපි බලමු. මේ තියෙන HTTP. Now can you tell me HTTP deals with what layer? HTTP deals with what layer? HTTP deals with what layer? HTTP. HTTP deals with all 7 layers. Same මේ තියෙන්නේ ඔක්කොම layers ටික. It uses the port TCP protocol. Port number 80. HTTP, check your note. What is the port number? Port number 80 and the destination port is 1035 use karno. Port number 80 and destination. මේ තියෙන්නේ ICMP කියලා කියන්නේ මේක ping command එකක්. TCP IP protocol layer 4. මේ තියෙන්නේ layer 4. 1035, what is the port? I have to check. 1035 port number. 1035 use කරන්නේ RCP. What is this protocol? RPC, remote procedure call. It's sent for communication. Okay, so you send an HTTP and you get the reply back again telling that I have received your message. Unave again. Acknowledgement protocol that I make. So මේක තමයි තේරෙනවද ඔයාලට? layer 7 කියලා කියන මේ තියෙන all 7 layers message, or it's like adding information. You keep on adding information තමයි. add කරලා add කරලා add කරලා add කරලා add කරලා තමයි යන්නේ message එක. Overall that's how it goes. Right. So can you copy it on this part? Perfect. All right. Okay. So these are the stages of OSI reference model in detail. It was up in next class. Okay, we will be going through in terms of the network threats and network security in detail, and we'll be also finishing in part. Also at 10:30 we do have a paper series for y'all. So eat something and come. After that we'll meet again at 10:30 and we'll go for the paper series too. That comes to the end of our session for today. Then see you all. Halaraka will take care. Have a nice day. Go through this again once more in detail and see you all in next class. Bye. See you all at 10:30. Okay. Bye.